What's up guys, Desh here, welcome back. How's it going? Today we're going to talk about taking a look at the metal gathering. We're going to go from straight basic to like alpha tier type stuff, you know what I mean? So let's, real quick, let's go over, remember our beginner's guide we made? Go ahead, I'm going to have a little flashback moment. Those round river stones, boom, that's the easiest way to get some metal starting out. You just go to like a river, find the stones, hit them with a pick, easy. You make some smithies, do some stuff, but obviously that's not much metal, right? So these rocks here, this is a rich metal node essentially. They are largely shiny as heck, right? See if I can find some half ones here. Ignore the skiff. I know most people haven't really unlocked these. This is just how I'm getting around, and I'm going to show you how it helps a lot in the future. Oh, somebody got some bolts here. Alright, are there any non-rich metal nodes around here? Doesn't look like it actually. Well, that's kind of good. For anyone curious, this is at the bottom right corner of the map on Valguero. You know, so basically a slightly rich metal node, which I would just call like a metal rock, would look a lot like this. It's shiny. It's you know, it's clearly got metal in it, but it'll look. Actually, it won't look a lot like that. Better example. It'll look more like this normal rock here. That's metal rock. Like it'll look like a rock. Okay. When you're not in a deserty area, the rocks will be darker. You know. It'll have streaks of this reflective metal-like material throughout it. You'll be able to see it. It should still be slightly reflective. Anyways, as we were going to talk about here, there's a few ways to kind of start out. Like, okay, you got the beginner rocks, you went to the river, you got some metal to start out, you maybe made a metal pick, but now you got to get more. You want to start making your base out of metal, stuff like that. So once you find a place that has some rich rocks like these, right, what you're going to want to probably do is get a flyer. RG will be ideal for this if you can when you're starting out. Okay. Pop a cell on him. Again, we're on the Sarko server, so you might see a few things like this protection text that was there that you wouldn't normally see. I was waiting here. Had a lot of levels there after being in a cryopod for so long. Gonna get it in 4K, give him some stand. Hell yeah, that is a good bird right there. Bird. Getting dark. Getting up my gamma. Alright. So, I'll be back in a second when my crowd timer's cooled down. Actually, no. We'll go over the setup. I'll take this down later, of course, but basically all you need, bring a foundation with you. Like this is, obviously you could bring like 4 foundations and enough walls for a small building, or just literally do a 2x2, get a doorway and a door, and fill the rest with walls and couple ceilings. That's a great way to do this. And then basically bring with you at least 1 forge, 2 or more if you can manage that. I mean, again, this is starting out point of view, right? And bring a mortar and pestle with you. So what this allows you to do is, you might not have an RG, you might be using a Pteranodon, something that can get you around, right? Maybe even you're using an Equus, like a, you know, a horse. You just kind of want to get somewhere where you know there's metal, you need some metal. Bring this with you, and then what you can do, bring a pick, of course, obviously, as well. Get a metal one. Now, be aware we are on 5x servers. This is a pretty darn good pick. Go ahead and hit some of these rocks, right? Again, 5x rates, high quality pick, lots of metal. So this is kind of a bad example. Probably should have brought a rather crappy pick. That was a ton of metal. Just gonna pop some of this, split it in between forges. Remember, shift click, you can separate. This, take that out because it's 2 for 1. This even. And then it's like, oh, maybe I'm on the top of a mountain, since it seems like the higher up you are, the more metal there is. There's no trees around, even though there's one right there. But for this example, ignore that tree, and that one, and all the other ones. What you'll get a lot is, you know, you'll get plenty of stone. If you're, it didn't seem like I got any flint from that rich metal one, so assuming there's other rocks around that are not as rich, you'll get some flint, right? This is just normally how it is. Boom. And now you make some spark powder. Boom. That's simple. Take this spark powder, drop some in. There you go. You're powering your forges purely by getting metal. So this is a great little system. Don't have to bring anything with you except the first time you go. Bring something to set up a little base like this. Yeah, that's what I would do right after you're done going to the river rocks. Go ahead and travel somewhere for that. Up my gamma to 5 actually. It kind of looks like recording is a little dark. So again, here it is. Couple forges, mortar and pestle, foundation. You could go off that, and then obviously 2 ingots. An ingot and a bar, as you can see, weighs this, or sorry, raw metal and an ingot bar, an ingot, weigh the same, but it takes 2 of these to make 1 of these. So if you can forge all this down into just the ingots to take home with you, put it on your bird, whatever, fly home, right? Then boom. Oh, and RGs appear to half the weight. I can never remember. They half the weight of ingots, and they lower it of certain other. Some dinos lower weight of resources, which we'll go into very soon here with our next friend, the Anky. Big Uranus. With the knowledge theme we had on our, just starting out guide. Alright, crowd cooldown's done. All leg there. Bam! You got your Anky. You can tame one of these bad boys up. They're herbivores, they eat berries. We touched on that, right? Again, these guys have so many levels because when they're in a cryopod in a cryofridge, they get a little extra XP, and more importantly, they continuously get XP. So I'm gonna. The only thing you want to level on an Anky. Now these guys are obviously the superior metal farmer. Dinos can always do something better than you can. Certain dinos, anyways, depending on what you're trying to do. That was my own inventory. Come on. Boom, put a saddle on this boy. So on Anky's, only thing you ever level is melee damage. So just pump all the levels you get into that. I have pretty okay Anky's, so this damage is going to get pretty high. These guys start out with 48 points in damage, and this weekend when my breeding video comes out, hopefully, there's a big ARK update between today and then, so it's literally tomorrow, so I gotta make sure I still know everything. But when that comes out, hopefully this weekend, you'll understand what levels are if you don't already. So hit that subscribe. But anyways, only melee damage for these, because then they get more metal. Look at that. Again, 5x servers, but other than that, all the multipliers, this is just high damage. Yankees just simply get a lot of metal. That was twice as much as we got with my insanely great pick on my own. But now, he can't move. I am trying to move right now. He's very encumbered. His weight is over. But here's the thing. Yankees order the weight of metal. Just take that in for a second. This would be 200 pounds if you take it out of your inventory, which you do not want to do at this point. You can toss these stones out. You don't need them. Or, well, what you should do is take the stones, run over to your mobile fuel making thing here, and once you get some more flint, keep these going, you know what I mean? Do that, and then you come back to this guy. Now he's got some weight left. Barely, he can barely move. Charge him over here, hit this rock, bam. Alright, now this time I take the stone out. He's still way over encumbered. That is actually ideal. That's fine. Because he's over encumbered with the metal, right? So it is actually, he's got 567.5 pounds of metal minus the 20 pounds for his saddle. But actually, that's, you know, 25% of what it really would be if I was carrying it, or most other knives carrying it. So what we do is we take our RG here. And again, unfortunately, a Pteranodon won't be able to pick up an Anky. It has to be an RG or a Quetz or something like that. You can just pick up this bad boy and drag him on over to the next one. You just hop off really quick, smack another rock, either toss out or take to your grinder or mortar and pestle that stone, and then you just go on to the next one here. Easy as that. Hit another one. If you land him, like say we were over here, we couldn't quite hit it. Once you get to the level and map that you're able to unlock a whip. If a dino is over encumbered, you can do this as like he is. He's over encumbered. You whip him, he will move. Not much, but he will move. And it kind of just goes in the direction of your whip. Sorry, bud. This is for science, I promise. Okay. So that's pretty nuts, right? What about when you get so much metal your RG can't carry it? And maybe you're moving on a lot farther into the game, right? Well, at that point, you'd want to carry a Quetz. Or not carry maybe, but you know, maybe fly on with the Quetz. So second, vulnerable to damage. Alright, here's a random Quetz I had. Pretty okay. Looks like it's got a lot of points from sitting around in a crab pot. Get him some weight. Ironically, he won't have much more than my RG, but we have spent a lot of time on RGs at one point, breeding them. Again, subscribe for that breeding video. You really need it. Everyone does. It'll be so worth it. So yeah. Obviously, a platform saddle, unless you get them from a drop, it's like level 97 or something, so bear with me on there. I know we're kind of making mildly large jumps from what you can do at what certain levels to, you know, the next. Because obviously now, if you can pick the RG up with the Anky, you can fly him home to base full of raw metal and cook it at home where you're a lot safer. So you don't really have to worry about this after you have an RG that can carry your Anky. Or, I mean, you might not even have an Anky if you're doing it this way, you know? Alright, if we come over to our Quetz here, this bad boy has tons of weight, and that's just kind of how Quetzes roll. We can still totally pick up the Anky, and if you have a platform saddle, and maybe a friend, you can build a few structures, a couple foundations on top of this Quetz platform saddle, with ramps going down, and if you're lucky and it doesn't kind of bug out, you can fly around with the Anky on that ramp and just smack stuff. Very nice. As you can see, now that I picked up the Anky, I still have that weight. So I have a lot more. I'm kind of slow, even compared to RG, which kind of is slow-ish. But I can carry so much more, and we can take our bad boy halfway across the map, no problem. Get him home, forge the metal, and build stuff. So yeah, that is the quets. Now, again, like I said, you can put the Anky on top. Oh, I thought he was conveniently going to float there for some reason. Put the Anky on top. Bam. You can carry him around on top if you got a buddy or something and you want to build some ramps on it. Or you can just pick him up. You can even pick up your buddy while he's riding the Anky and fly around. Just literally fly up to a rock, smack it a couple times, fly up to the next one, smack it a couple times. Don't even gotta put the Anky down. But here's a fun trick in another dino once my crowd timer goes down. Alright, that cooldown's done. So this is what I was going to show you. The Gasbag Extinction Dino. Kind of hard to get a hold of. They have high health and high weight. Okay, sorry. They have high weight just as an average. Like, it's insane. Nice. I'm actually going to do health. Just they also make great soakers. We can go into soakers at some point in the future if you guys are interested. PvP is a very interesting, entertaining part of the game. So what they do, essentially, they take in gas, and I'm going to go over here so I don't accidentally blow any of them away. And you can just fly away. Oh gosh, what the heck is that? Looks like a little metal farming base, just of a slightly higher tier tribe. And probably got turrets on it. Yeah, looks like it. So I'm glad I didn't fly over there. Especially on my skiff. Those things are just kind of squishy. But anyways. Boom. Now look, wild Anky. See? They're everywhere. Alright, so these guys, they can carry a lot just by existing. Like, that is how they roll. They like to carry weight. But, as I'll show you here. Oh gosh. This guy got some weird momentum. Holy crap. Okay, I'm gonna pop off back on because you didn't seem to like me for a second. Alright, I'm just gonna try and do a small bounce. Oops, sorry. Small bounce. Alright, fun fact. Didn't need to tell you then, actually. Oh yeah, I did. Oh, wow, oops. Basically, if you hop off a dino midair, it will stop, and if you're not riding it, it will not take fall damage. So keep that in mind for the future. It will come quite handy. Anyways, let's look at this now. The weight I'm standing on. The weight of this squets is 320. We take this stack of metal, 200 pounds in our inventory, 50 in this bad boy. We go up here. Obviously, you want to build some ramps and prepare a little better than I am here. We go ahead, drop this in there. You can see this guy has 440 pounds, including myself though. Add the metal to this guy. Let's take in air because I can't remember if that's necessary or not. And basically, you look. Okay. 300. Oh, wait a minute. $610. Take 200 pounds off. That doesn't add up. Was I standing on split? What was going on here? 200 pounds. Okay, that's what I was expecting. Interesting. So it might bug out sometimes, essentially, but so that was 330. Take 200 pounds off. Take a bit of fall damage. 320. So as you can see, for whatever reason, the gas bag, when it has stuff on it, the weight to the quets is just massively reduced, and I'm pretty sure that works with all platforms. So if I put it on the quets, or on the skip over here, it should be actually the same. You can do it. Nope. Stop. These things can be kind of hard to control sometimes. He looks so wounded, but actually he's just got more vitality. Alright. So I can air with it. Off of it. Alright, so 798. Take 200 pounds off of it. It weighs more all of a sudden. I'm concerned. Put it back. Odd. Very odd, but okay, so yeah, I mean, if you gotta travel large distances and you don't feel like bouncing around on the gas bag, give that a try on a platform saddle. It seems to work very weirdly, but it seems to work, you know what I mean? Alright. So, last but not least, alright, we're gonna do the thing so that he doesn't take a bunch of fall damage because he's low on gas. Bam, no fall damage. Alright. Last but definitely not least, when you get one of these, you've probably been to Aberration as well, maybe, perhaps, who knows. But if you do head there, or Lunar on Genesis on certain spots, grab yourself one of these bad boys. Like a crab. These things are amazing. So, see that weight? That's probably, well, essentially they can grab stuff. You hold the click, they do a grab. Now his weight is 930. But the big thing about these guys is you can carry around somebody, walk up, they smack stuff. They do have a lot of weight on the crabs. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and roll this because this is what this one's primary use is. I can carry around this guy, precisely dragging around my teammate riding it, and smacking rocks with just as much weight as our really good RG over there. And this is a pretty, like, average crab, to be honest. But that's not even the best part about these. This is where stuff starts getting insane. You say that you pick up the Anky, walk over, bolt, and you're over encumbered with metal. You cannot move the crab, right? But what you still can do while over encumbered is straight up beat the Anky. Obviously, you don't want your friend. Oh my gosh. Okay, like. Obviously, you don't want your friend riding it because then it'll take a lot of damage every time you throw it. But if they hop off at the right time, you're good. Like, this is insane. You literally just walk up. You won't be able to turn, so it'll kind of be a little game of like to the side a little bit, hitting the node, toss them over the next node. Like here, let me give you an example. If this tree would get in the way, aim for the node. Bam, you're there. Okay, smack that node. Easy, insane. And yeah, it's insane. Like, once you get one of these, you will be able to slot cap the Anky, which is 300 stacks of metal, and it won't even matter. Now, obviously, you'll have to get it back to base, which might be a little hard. You might want to, if you have a transmitter, which is, again, that's tech tier, you gotta fight a boss. You can toss this boy over to transmitter. Well, I meant to toss, but I jumped anyways. And you set him down next to it. Your buddy would sit on top. They'd throw out all the items like this, for example. Okay, and then you'd stand by a drop transmitter or something. You just take your whip out, and you'll be able to slot cap yourself with a whip. There's no limit to the weight you can pick up if you're using it. Then you just transfer off the server. If you're on another server gathering, that's kind of a way too high level example, I'm sorry. But basically, crab equals item slot cap on Anky equals 30,000 metal in one trip. So, pretty insane stuff. The most insane thing, though, that is not even it. That's insane on its own. Obviously, you got Genesis, you do the first, the easy mode boss fight, that's all it takes, right? You unlock this bad boy. Now this, you just get your buddy, pick him up over here, fly yourself, just straight up yeet yourself over to these here things, right click again, and it's like the claw game, but you just get rich at the same time. Just boop, boop, oh, oh, it's insane, okay? But that's actually not the best way to get metal, to farm metal. Just wait for this dino, which obviously, if you recognize this gift, you've seen Genesis, you saw the hype. Now, these guys are amazing, and I have to wait 40 seconds to show you. Alright, so after that totally uninterrupted break for you guys, because I hopefully jump cutted it, this bad boy is the peak of Genesis OP. Well, it's not, but I mean, it's amazing. The Magmasaur. Oh, well. The Magmasaur. Just look at him. Look at that cute, flaming face. Molten veins. This guy is amazing. There's numerous things to go over. He's dangerous. He can become like a normal refining forge if you just turn it on. He eats rocks as food, gas as food. This guy's insane. And guess what? He's exactly like an Anky, but 1,000 times better. Now our Anky had over 1,000 melee damage, right? We read the heck out of them. Kind of. They're not insane, but I think we got them from somebody actually, to be fair. But this melee damage, put some levels in here. 265. Let's take that in for a second. And then let's take in some of these metal nodes. Look at that. On the left there. You see that? Almost 2,000 metal in a singular node. Every time. He eats these rocks better. This is food. Like, that's epic. I'm gonna drop a little stone though. Look at all that in just 2 nodes. That's amazing. And, if you noticed, he's just like the Anky. Quarters the weight of it. It's insane. If you can get Genesis, and then you can get to a point in the game where you can grab one of these out of the volcanoes, raise them. It's worth it, no matter the hardships of feeding them tons of whale poop as food while they're babies. Space whales, I should add, if you haven't seen those. But I'm actually going to check really quick, because I've never tried this. Let's take the quest, see if we can pick him up. Okay, that's about what I expected. So, once you do get one of these, where you now have a lot of metal to take home, so you're either going to need a whole trope of Gasbags, Quetzes, or RGs, or hopefully you can get one of these. We are now at alpha tier. I hope I didn't skip anything. No, I don't think I did. This is now alpha tier. This is efficiency. Look at that. You can pick this bad boy up while someone's in it, chomp that metal node, chomp the next ones, and just keep on getting metal. Why? Because it reduces weight just like an Anky. And this skiff has 16,000 pounds of carry weight on vanilla. This is a standard. This is literally a vanilla skiff. Okay, yeah. It's not even the SS version, which is still the same, at least on the Sarco cluster. But 16,000 pounds. That's insane. So yeah, like, that's how you get metal. You go, that's survival mastery as well, and I thought that was my Anky. Well, you literally go from bringing a refinery with you because you can't even get it home when you go to get the metal, and that's after you mine river rocks to make enough metal to make a smithy and some metal pick, primitive metal pick. Oops. Go from this to an RG and an Anky. I mean, the Ankys do great work. And I mean, then you carry it all back with one of these big boys that can carry a lot, throw them around a bit with a crab, and then eventually you'll have made it so far you're carrying around a Magmasaur on a tech skiff. That's like the life of gathering metal. Like, that's it. It's insane, isn't it? Hope this kind of helped for locations on a lot of metal, kind of like the one I'm at, you know. Feel free to look at the ARK wiki. They have a pretty good resource map on there, and it'll help you find, regardless of whatever map you're on. Like, I'm on Valguero obviously right now, but regardless of whatever map you're on, I mean, you'll be able to find some nodes to go to. And yeah, if you have any questions, put it down in the comments. Think my next video might be actually on quality, like, of these items. Like, obviously these are, you can see the damage percentage. We'll go over some of that, I think, next time, because that'll come up very soon. Very, very soon. And then we'll have that breeding video this weekend, and that's going to be amazing. You're going to be able to, this Anky, with its, oh crap, where did I put him? Oh, E-Farmer? Oh, there you are, bud. Oh, by the way, he's named E-Farmer because the one thing these guys do excel at late game on Genesis is harvesting element. The Magmasaur doesn't harvest it at all. So the element shards are, these guys are still highly superior, useful boys that you should always be breeding on. But yeah, this guy, look at that damage. I'll show you how to get way better damage than that in our breeding video. All stats that you're looking for. Weight RGs. We're gonna explain how to get some insane dinos from start to finish this weekend. Anyways, so enough of that. Hit subscribe, like the video, whatever. You guys have a great day. Peace. Peace.